this thing is pretty cool. Hey folks, welcome back to techgooch, and I'm back with a review actually that I've been working on for quite some time actually now, a total of about 2 months, and that was really to get a feel for it, but also some other things that kind of got jammed in there as well. But Lucid Cam sent me over one of their 3D VR cameras to check out. It's funky looking, and I'm going to get a little closer here in a second. To check out, to test out, to do some footage off, and then I actually had to send this back to them. But this camera is unlike a lot of the other things I've ever tried. So you've probably heard of VR cameras where you can shoot a 180 or a 360 video, and you know, if you have like VR goggles, things like that, you can look around with it. It's pretty cool. It's really cool actually, and they're getting better and better because the big thing about it is resolution. No matter what you do, even if I shoot 4K, 4K works great in this shot, but if I do 4K all the way around, it's not the highest resolution footage you can get again. So as camera technology gets better, without going to a really expensive rig, that will obviously progress and get better as we go. This is also a 4K camera, but rather than 360, it's 4K within the 180 degree aspect ratio. But the cool thing about this is it mixes in that 360 VR technology, or in this case 180, with 3D technology, actually using two separate cameras interspaced to give that basically binaural, or the focal length for two eyes, which is why we see in 3D obviously. So you get that depth perception along with that very large wide angle kind of look around view. Now, because rather than looking at one specific point of view in a 180 degree point, we have two eyes looking, you can't get as much. It's kind of like if I was to sit my head here like this and look off to the side, right and left, right? That's kind of what you're getting out of it. But the 3D aspect of it's pretty cool, and I'm going to try to show that, but I think more than anything else, I'm going to link to some other videos that I've actually recorded, and I'll actually link, or I'll throw up on one of my other channels, so that you can actually see the raw video rather than the video within this review. So let's bring it in here and show you what they sent me, and then I'll talk about the camera a little bit. So we have the Lucid camera itself. You actually have both a picture and a video mode. You actually cannot take photos while you're in video mode. You can't take videos while you're in photo mode. You slide it over to the actual thing you're going to actually be doing, so in this case picture, and then you wait for it to actually boot up. And it does take a little bit of time. It's not like turn it on, I can start taking footage right away. I have to wait for it to boot up. I have to wait for it to actually be okay to start, and then I can actually start taking photos. Same thing if I actually switch over to video. Now, if you actually have it in photo mode, and if you just slide it right over to video mode, it doesn't shut down and then restart all the way back up again. It just has to get into video mode. So it's not crazy hard, to be honest. You just kind of flip it over, and then you're in video mode, and you're pretty much ready to go. You have the shutter button that's actually start and stop for video, or just obviously push release for the photos. And then you do have a Wi-Fi connection button. So you can actually connect this to your phone. You can actually see real-time footage as you're shooting it with your phone, but also because there is no display back here. Or you can also look at your footage that you've already shot. Same time, I'm going to shut it off there real quick. Underneath here, this is where the USB port to plug it into the computer to pull footage directly off the camera. HDMI if you want to actually show it onto a TV screen or something like that. And then you have a memory card. In this case, this is my memory card. I just have a 16 gig Extreme card in here to get the 4K footage. But there, it's really simple, and you can just pull the memory card and stick that right into a memory card slot. Then you have a tripod adapter, so you can plug in whatever tripod mount, so you can actually mount this on a tripod, or if this case, they have a little, they sent me that's actually show with it, just a quick and easy selfie stick that as long as it has a tripod screw adapter, you're good to go. The camera itself does come with a nice little camera bag, so that's nice. Now this does not come with the camera, but this is what they sent over to me, at least showcase and review. Microfiber cloth to clean the lenses off, because and to be honest, I typically used the camera bag itself. Just make sure that the camera bag is clean before I did that. But it is also a microfiber cloth. The instructions on how to use it, how to get it to connect to your phone, things like that. So I got that. They actually sent me over, oh, sticker, there we go. 2 different VR, or ways to view the VR. This is a VR case that actually attaches directly to an iPhone 6 or 6S. Should be work on the 7 and the 8 as well. So they do make cases, and I'll show you this. I do not have a 7 or anything like that, but I will show you the case at least. So this is if you're going to use this a lot. You can obviously have this with you. And, come on, bag. There we go. So if you actually had the phone in the case and then you wanted to actually see the VR, you just kind of slip these 2 buttons. And out she comes. These are there to protect the lenses. You flip the lenses up. And then now you actually have, as you can see, a VR viewer. Pretty simple, to be honest. Yes, it would work just fine. But if all in all, what kind of a case is it? This would be probably one of my least favorite things I would get for it, to be honest, in terms of items. The same thing goes for their mini VR viewer. Again, this is great to have with you as a quick go-to item, but not something that I'm going to use heavily. It's literally just 2 lenses that pop up for your eyes. You can see that there's a separator for the eyes, and then you literally just take your phone and clip it in, and then you line up the black thing right in the middle of the video, and then you basically watch the video. It does work. I will say that this little simplistic one, I would have this more than I would have the case, because this is obviously more usable on multiple different types of phones. But it's not the most comfortable, and if you turn side to side or anything like that, the phone moves because it's kind of wiggly. It can be in and out of focus, so it does put a little more strain on your eyes. Then they also sent me a little tripod, the little articulated leg tripod, so you can actually hook it up and maybe get a time lapse or whatever. So that's what they sent me, and that's what they sent me to test out. I use these real quick, but then I have my own stuff, so I just tested them. It works fine. I'll show you what the rig that I actually used the most. So what I used most was, I have a little GoPro adapter, so I can use a tripoded camera on a GoPro mount, and so I actually just used this like so. Just adapted it basically to a GoPro mount, and then I would either use the handle just to get like a handheld shot with the thing. If I wanted to get more of a viewer's perspective, however, I also use the head mount. So I'll tell you what, I'll get this on and I'll show you what it looks like with this on there. So this is what it looks like with my GoPro head mount, basically, that I had for my GoPro cameras. And if you think you look funny with a camera that has 2 lenses on it, even in the handheld mode, you should see the types of looks you get from people when you have it on your head like this. Definitely some weird looks. However, I don't care. It's kind of neat. You know what's going on. You know what you're looking at. You know what you're getting. Obviously, to be honest, having it on your head, you tend to get a little bit less vibration, to be honest, I think, than like just on a strap or anything like that. But then again, if you want to keep it as steady as possible, you got to keep your head straight forward. And usually when you're looking around, things like that, I found putting it on the handheld was easiest to keep it going in the same direction if I was walking. But the nice thing about this is that you're actually getting your visual perspective. It's always the nice thing about having that head mount is that whatever, I'm looking at, that's going to be the primary focus. But, if you're watching it later, it can get a little funky. I mean, that's the best way to put it. So that's that. The other thing about the tripod mount and using mounts like this where you're using that like action camera type thing is that there's actually no way other than just cranking it down to guarantee that this is going to stay 90 degrees, so it actually can turn on you. So I think if there's one big thing that I would change for these guys is I would get a better mounting system than just a tripod adapter. I think it'd be great if they actually had a clip-on mount where it actually clipped onto the camera and it put it right to the GoPro mount, or some, the GoPro mount is great because it maintains this specific direction. Tripod mount, you can move that camera. So on a tripod, it's fine. But if you're going to use any kind of action camera mount, get that perspective differently. That's the one thing I think this is lacking. So it's hard to say that it's an action camera type thing. And it isn't. It's not waterproof or resistant or anything. It's not something you want to get wet. But for what it is, to get that perspective, it's cool. It's a really cool camera. And I'm really looking forward to see what they do with this technology, because it's neat. It's neat to watch, too. My thoughts in the end here is that at $500, that's what they were asking for when I first got it 2 months ago. $500. It's definitely a luxury item. I mean, you were price competing against a GoPro Hero 6, which is going to be much higher quality video, no doubt. The quality of video of this is 4K stretched to 180 degrees, so it's going to get a little bit pixelated. It's going to be a little bit different. However, the 3D aspect of it is pretty awesome. There's no zooming to this, you have to push it towards an action camera, but it's not an action camera. But it's different, and it's neat, and it's unique, and I really like it in that regard. So, is it worth $500? That's a really small niche market. Since I've received it, they dropped the price to $399. At $399, I can see it actually coming into that fold where you're going to get more people actually wanting to use it. Because at $400, it's $100 less, and it actually is pretty cool. If you're looking for that niche video, you're looking to really take in the sights and to relive an experience, this thing is awesome. It really is that relive the experience, to get that depth perception, to get that different type of input that you get when you're actually at somewhere. So it's not going to be something you're going to take underwater, obviously, or everywhere you go. But it's going to give you a different perspective than a traditional camera would show you. So, and whereas the little accessories they give you to view are neat, they don't work the best. Get a nice VR headset. This is the Zeiss, the One Plus, and their VR One Plus is pretty awesome. There's no buttons on here, so anytime you have to do anything with the phone, you have to, oh geez, take the cradle back out. Sorry, adjust it on your phone and then stick it back in. So there's, is it the best VR headset out there? No, but I like the quality of the lenses on it, as Zeiss is kind of known for, and it's also really comfortable on the head. So if I'm actually watching a video over a longer period of time, this is definitely a very comfortable VR headset. So I use this to do all of my VR viewing, or any viewing from the Lucid camera footage. Less so this. Now, the problem with using this is the Lucid Camera app is kind of a different. So if you're actually going to use your phone, I actually did download a third-party VR app, but there's a whole bunch of them. I've used like 5 or 6 of them, to be honest. There's no one that I would say is so much better than the rest. But if you're shooting footage and you're taking it off here and putting it on your phone, and then you're using your phone to watch the VR footage, definitely check out some of the third-party ones. If I actually do find one that I really like, I will put it in the link where you can actually check that one out as well. So, yeah, that's that. Okay, just to highlight real quick what the app looks like. You do connect via Wi-Fi, so after I hit the Wi-Fi button on the actual camera, I connected to it on the hotspot here. And then if I actually go to the Lucid VR app, which will load here for us. Now I already have it set up, so I'm not going into that. If I go to home, I can actually see videos that I've probably shot myself. If I go to the camera itself, it'll actually connect directly to the camera and should get a live view. So we'll give it a second to actually connect. There it is. So you can see there's a little bit of a lag. So if I move my hand, boom, boom, boom. So there's a little bit of lag, not too bad. But you can actually see that it actually is in that really like wide aspect. So I'm going around the camera. It's quite a lot of area around it. See if I click on this stuff in storage. If I go to the SD card, you can see all the videos are actually on the SD card, the stuff that I've actually shot with the actual camera itself. And then within any of these, I can click on, that's a photo I think. I can click on something and then I can hit download. So let's just download the photo quick because that's a quick and easy small one. Then I go back to on the phone and I can actually see that specific photo I downloaded. and you can see where the two different eyes line up here, and if I look around, what they actually look like. Photos are actually pretty cool, and within the 3D within an actual VR headset, this is obviously where it's a lot better looking, but you can see the difference between the eyes if you're used to VR video. You can actually change that to 2D, so if you're not with a 3D VR headset, you can then just see the 2D image instead. So you can do that here in the viewer. So, you know, all in all, it's a pretty awesome camera and it works pretty well. So that is the Lucid Cam. The Lucid camera is pretty awesome. I will post links where you can actually check their website out, get all the different feedback and all the different information off their website directly. But all in all, at $3.99 now, it is something that if you're looking to get some different aspects of your footage, or you're traveling somewhere that you're just not going to be going back to very frequently, I would highly recommend taking a peek at this. This is definitely a usable option. Now, I will put links to videos that I shot with the Lucid camera that I have not doctored or edited at all. I will put those below if you want to check out some of those videos, and I highly recommend checking out at least one of them because I didn't want to stick it in this video. I wanted to have it as a separate one so it's not getting compressed in with the standard 4K standard video. Definitely check them out. I will link them below, and check out at least one of them. I shot the whole Chicago Auto Show when I went to it in February on the Lucid camera. The whole venue, pretty awesome to be honest, and it worked really well. I also shot one of my daughter's dance performances. So there's different things that I've shot with this that I was trying to get different aspects of that depth perception type look, and some worked better than the others. But if you're looking to get that I'm there perspective type item, 360 cameras are neat. Those VR cameras are cool, but 3D VR is more like you're actually there. And that's the big thing I want to push through it is, depending on where you're going and depending on what you're shooting, is whether or not this is something that you're going to be interested in using. But it is pretty cool. I have to give it that. So definitely thanks to Lucid VR for sending this over to me, or Lucid Camera. I enjoyed it. I really did. It was fun to play with. And I think that I think the second iteration of this product, I hope they do come out with one with a higher resolution yet, because if they get anything above 4K out of this, like 4K in each camera would be, I think, a mind blow. So I can't wait to see. Hopefully this technology continues on. But thanks for sending this over to me. And if you guys have any questions for me specifically on the Lucid camera, I have it here for a little bit yet. Post that below. Let me know what you think. And we'll catch you here on another review here in the near future. Thanks for stopping by, guys.